Today is day 31 of Inktober 2025. Hello, precious friends. Welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brenda Campbell. I'm an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. If you've been here before, then thank you so much for returning. I'll be your guide as we go through the 8 steps of the Magical Zentangle Method of drawing. This is a practice, one that allows us to slow ourselves down and be in this moment. A practice where we focus on one stroke at a time. It's also a practice that provides so many additional benefits that I couldn't possibly name them all. But I can say this is a practice that will change your life because it has changed mine. And that's why I believe it's magic. I hope you'll include a little Zentangle in your routine, and I'm honored to be part of your journey. I am participating in the Inktober challenge this year, and today is day 31. Oh my goodness, the last day of Inktober 2025. If you don't know what Inktober is, I did post a video at the beginning of my process where I talk about its origins. I let you know who Jake Parker is and how it became an annual Zentangle challenge. My approach this year is a little different as I combine 2 Inktober lists. So grab a cup of your favorite beverage, find a comfy spot, and relax as we draw our 31st Inktober tile. Today's tile is a tan tile, and I'm going to go all out since this is our last tile for Inktober 2025. And we are going to use both the dark brown Micron PN pen and the light brown Micron 05 pen. You can use whatever pens you have. You don't have to use the same things I'm using. I also have my white Gelly Roll 08 pen, and all 3 of these are from Sakura. I have a graphite pencil and a tortillion for blending out the graphite. I have a white chalk pencil and a tortillion for blending that out. And I'm drawing on a 3Z Zentangle tile. And that is a triangle shaped tile. And it measures approximately 3.5 inches or 8.89 centimeters on each side. So that's what we're using, or that's what I'm using. And I'm going to go ahead and clear my space as we get ourselves ready to begin with step 1, gratitude and appreciation. In this step, we are going to slow ourselves down. We're going to try to bring ourselves into this moment, and we are going to reflect and find something that we are grateful for. So let's go ahead and begin with a big breath in, getting tall as you inhale, and a slow breath out. And one more big breath in. And just relax everything down on the exhale. And now just let your breath fall into a natural breathing rhythm. And focus on your breath. Just pay attention to it. Notice it as you inhale and exhale. And with every exhale, try try to rest a little more in this moment. Now that we're feeling a little bit more settled, take this opportunity to think of something we are grateful for right now. And when you have it, hold on to it and pay attention to how it feels. How does gratitude feel? Now remember this feeling today as we draw our tiles, and if you find yourself, perhaps you're rushing, or maybe your lines are not going where you want them to, it's okay. Just stop yourself, take a big breath in, and a slow breath out. Remember this feeling, and then you'll be ready to draw again. So that is all there is to step 1, gratitude and appreciation. Step 2 is corner dots, and for this I am going to use my graphite pencil. And I am going to put a dot in each of our 3 corners. Step 3 is a border, and we create our border by connecting the dots. Step 4 is a string. So my string today is simply going to be a big circle at the top of my tile or in the center of my tile. And we're done with step 4. I'm putting my pencil away. And before we move on to our tangles, which is the next step, let's talk a moment about our tangle of the day and our prompt. So our tangle of the day is a new tangle that came out last year. And it was a tangle that was presented in an online live class from Maria and Rick and family, I think. And it was just to celebrate 20 years of Zentangle. So the first Zentangle class was taught publicly in July of 2004. And so last year in 2024, we celebrated 20 years of Zentangle. And so on July 15th, 2024, it was declared the International Day of Zentangle. And this is where the tangle gets its name. The tangle is IDOZ, IDOZ, International Day of Zentangle. Obviously, a Zentangle deconstructed tangle. And I am going to begin with my light brown pen, and we are going to draw IDOZ in the center of our circle here. Now, our prompt for the day from Jake's list is award. And so I'm hopefully going to be able to bring this together, and you'll see the tie-in at the end. But let's, for now, move on to step 5, our tangles, with the tangle IDOZ. Now, this tangle begins with a shape that looks like, it's like a teardrop shape. So it has a point, and then it's rounded, and it comes back to the point. And then we turn our tile. And because I have 3 corners, I'm going to draw 3 of these shapes. But you can draw as many as you like. And so I'm gonna, again, go to the point, and then I'm gonna stop when I meet my first shape, because this one kind of goes behind. Then I'm going to turn it one more time for our last one, and this one goes behind both. So you can see how you can add more and more if you want for your initial shape. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to aura around my first shape, and I start at my point and then bring it down on each. Well, I'm going to start on one side, so I'm going to do this one, then I'm going to turn my tile, do that same side on this one, turn it again, do the same side on this one, and then I'm going to come back and do the other side. So now I'm going to come down here, and every time we stop, when we meet up with a line from our next little initial shape. Okay, now I'm going to go one more time. Remembering to turn my tile after each line. And let's do one more. This, of course, can go on as much as you want as well, but I think this may be our last outside layer. Okay, so you see we have this little woven area between each one of these shapes. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to decorate inside by adding, first I'm going to draw a pointed oval in the center of each one. This one would go behind, and then this one also go behind. Then I am going to draw, but I'm going to actually get my dark brown pen for this, just to add some contrast, I suppose. Now I'm going to draw inside each one of these some orbs. And I'm going to kind of fill the space. And then I'm going to even fill all this space between the orbs. I'm going to fill that in too with this dark ink. Okay. So now, and I'm still using my dark brown pen. So now I'm going to draw a ring around my entire tangle here. So I kind of went outside my string circle with my IDOZ tangle. So I'm going to go ahead and redraw my circle to fit my tangle, and I'm definitely going to be wanting to turn as I go around. Okay, so I have my circle around my tangle, and now I'm going to do an aura around this circle. So I'm going to probably have it come in from that point. So I don't know if it'll be, I think it'll go off the tile at that spot. Yeah, so it's kind of goes off that side, but that's okay. It is kind of big. I'm looking for a space here. I think, let's do this side. Okay, so in this corner, and I'm doing it this way because one, I have more space here, and this puts that off the tile line at the top. I just kind of went on the edge. But what I want to do next is tie in my prompt of award, and I am going to, let's see, draw one little ribbon and then another one that comes out from behind. And let's go ahead and, you know what, I'm going to put my brown pen away. I'm going to get my white pen out. Let's have some fun with our white Gelly Roll pen. And I am, it's been a little minute since I've used it, so yep, it's still flowing nicely. Had to test it there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a border on my little ribbon for my award. And I'm going to put this border coming from the bottom up on both sides. I'm trying not to draw on top of my dark line. I think I managed that here. The next thing I want to do with my white pen is I want to come in here and I want to put a white dot on each of my orbs, and I'll make the dots bigger or smaller depending on the size of the orbs. Maybe I'll come in here back down to my little ribbon, and maybe what I'll do is draw a little doodah tangle. Oh, I should probably go this way. It doesn't give it much, but it decorates it up a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my white ink pen away, and I am going to pick up my graphite pencil, and we are going to do a little bit of shading. So first of all, I want to come in here where we have this zigzag line because it weaves. Also putting a little graphite on the bottom shape where it goes behind the other shapes. Then I want to put a little graphite smile on the opposite side or on one side of each of the orbs. Okay. And this should be dry, so I'll go ahead and put a little bit here and a little bit here where our little ribbons attach to our circle IDOZ award. Okay, so grabbing my tortillion, I'm going to go ahead and blend this out very lightly. Two reasons. One, these tiles are kind of delicate, but also because I have white ink under there and I don't want to take any of that ink away. So I'm just trying to be mindful of where I'm blending. Then I think I'm not adding more. I might need to, but I'm just kind of taking it around the outside of this inside shape, our little IDOZ initial shapes, just to give them a little bit of dimension. And like I said, if you don't have enough graphite and you're using a tan tile, just go ahead and add a little bit more. And that should be good. Then I think I will add a little bit more just around the exterior. Again, trying to give it a little bit of dimension. And then maybe a little bit more, another layer on this woven area outside there. Where they meet, just to deepen that dimension, I guess. So then let's go ahead and blend that out. Just kind of adding and blending out where I see it needs a little blending. So I think Not sure how I want to do this, but I think I'm just going to come in here with a little bit right there. Since this shape is kind of in front of that orb there. I think I'm good now with my graphite. I'm going to pick up my chalk pencil. And I am going to first put a little bit of chalk inside my border around my award, my little tangle IDOZ. And again, this just gives it some color different from the background. Okay, then I want to go ahead and put a little on the outside of each of my little ribbons, maybe even on the bottom. Then I want to put a little bit on each orb on the opposite side that we put our graphite, if there's an opposite side. If not, just put it where you can. And maybe I'll just put a little, just a tiny light line around each of these each of these little pods of orbs. Okay, that should be plenty of white chalk. Now I have my tortillion, and I'm going to begin with my little aura area. Again, very, very lightly blending this out. Let's do our ribbon, and let's come in here and do our orbs. And finally, our little highlight on the outside of our little pods of pearls or orbs. I'm not sure this is giving me the look I wanted, but no mistakes. And we're just getting a little bit of contrast, additional color. It's all good. Maybe I'll just sneak a little more white chalk here. Maybe that'll help. Oh. If you don't go lightly, press too hard, you tend to get rid of all the white chalk you just put down. So I try not to do that. Okay, I don't think that looks too bad, but I think it is missing a little something around the border here. So I'm going to add a little graphite inside my border of my little IDOZ awards circle. And that is going to change that background, and hopefully it'll give it a little more interest and or dimension. So let's start with that. We're going to go ahead and blend that out, and maybe even blend it all the way to our tangle. Just gives another shade of color to our composition, to our little tile. A little piece of art. Okay, still looks a little ungrounded, so we'll add a little bit outside, but really just on this side of the this side of the award and this side of the ribbons and the award circle. So just to hopefully give it some depth, so it feels like an actual award. Okay, so I'm putting my tortillion away, but I am picking back up my dark brown pen. And I am going to, I missed a couple spots here, but the chalk can kind of make things lighter. So I'm just kind of adding some more of this dark brown color back in around our orbs. And that really does make a difference. You just have to be careful when you're going over something you've already drawn. Just take a breath. Then I think I will try to bring back this inside line. And there's the risk, but that's okay. It just means my line's a little wider there. No mistakes. Okay. I could do all of the lines, but I definitely want to do these. Then I guess I might as well go in here and redraw the outside line as well. But I'm really trying to be careful. Okay, that was not so bad. Nice and dark and bold, but that's okay. I'm happy with it. Okay, putting my pen away, my dark brown pen away. And we are done with step 6, the shading. We've added lots of contrast and different colors and lots of layers, so I'm happy with that. I am going to pick up my light brown 05 micron pen for step 7, which is to initial and sign. And I am just going to put that right, I guess I'll put it over here. There's a little more room, so. Now, if you don't have a chalk, just put your initials somewhere on the front. Then I will flip it over, sign it on the back, and date it. But I always date it off camera. And then I'm going to make a note that this is for day 31 of Inktober 2025. We're done. Our last tile, our last tangle, our last prompt. And there we have it. Step 8 is simply to appreciate again. So we take a moment now and we just kind of take a look at our little piece of art. Appreciate that we took time for ourselves. Appreciate the fun little piece of art that we made. I certainly appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm so happy that you found me. I look forward to hearing more from you and seeing you next time. But until then, as always, I will remind you to be you and be happy.